Here we go. Eddie says the Compton of Philly. Yeah, it is like the Compton. Yeah, it is. That's
Deion Brown.
Deion Brown. I live on 8th and Erie, so Deion. Yeah, Deion. I'm not gonna go. I do this now, but I was younger one time. So if we could talk, we talk offline. All right. Anyway, look. So we're gonna go into the second quarter, and I, since I had technical difficulties, I didn't have time to get this our talking points together. So Pat, I'm gonna give you a shot at calling this next quarter.
Let's do the shot. Let's pop the top first.
Let me get up there. Look at it. Let's do the shot. That's all I know.
You know, when you take the top off and the whole the circle comes off, you got to pry a little part off.
All right, let me just take a moment to update you guys. The podcast comes on or is out usually. If we do the show like we do it Monday, I usually have the podcast out on Tuesday. It's out. Last week's show is out there. The new format now is what I did. I divide the podcast into the quarters. So you don't have to, if you're only listening on the way to work, 15-minute quarter, and you can listen on the way, and you can listen to each quarter at your leisure. So I divided the one hour-long podcast into 4 quarters, just like we do it here on the show. So go get the podcast, download the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. The more attention and subscribers and things that we get, the bigger we can make this production. And hopefully somebody will send us down to the draft or something. I don't know. We can't go to the draft. Draft is next week. That's my daughter's birthday. I can't go to the draft. All right. So we're still deciding on whether we're going to go live from somewhere next week. The draft is next week. Can you believe that?
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't wait.
What do you think about who are we getting, Pat? Who are we getting?
I can't wait to trade down.
Trade down. Yeah, you know what? I think that's, and I think that's what we'll talk about. We'll talk about that in the second quarter. We'll talk about the draft. Let me just put in here. All right. Okay. Oh, that's wrong. Let me go back. Did the wrong thing.
Let's do a shot while you mess around.
Go ahead. You pour your shot while I put this in here. You're still doing the corn. You're gonna be messed up. All right, let me also put this.
Hey, I'm
drive responsibly. We're talking about this man who just got busted, and then we're doing a shot. Look, be responsible, okay?
I'm not going anywhere.
We're in the comfort of our own home. We're not getting behind the wheel. So everybody, again. Let me just remind you, this is Eagles Talk. We're moving into the second quarter. Our second quarter topic, we're going to talk about the draft. You're listening to Eagles Talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. So I am partaking in the Remy Martin 1738, while Pat is partaking in Watermelon Punch Hooch. That's the best way I can describe it. It's watermelon, something like that. Our people out there are partaking in all sorts of things. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, down the hatch. All right, second quarter, and that toast was for the draft. We're drafting next week. The draft is going on next week. Who do you think? What do you think we do? You just talked about it. You just said, and I hear some of that too. And that may be the way we go because we don't have any pick. I mean, it's the end of the first round. I mean, if we trade down, we might catch a good deal with somebody who doesn't want to wait, have their eye on a player at 32, and doesn't want to take the chance of waiting for that player in the second round. So we may be able to get a trade down for a second round pick and maybe a later on pick, something. And you're not going to get a 2 and a 3 for the 32 for the 32nd pick, but you may get a second and a 4th or 5th or something like that, depending on who that person they're, who that person they're looking at. So that's a possibility. That's a great possibility. What do you think?
Well, I actually think that. I think the 32nd pick in the draft is a glorified first round pick in a second round. We never, like I said before, we never been in this position before. So if if they stay true to their board and pick a player that's available that they had as, the best player available, I'm okay with that. More or less, I would like to go after a linebacker now, or even maybe a corner like a Dante Jackson from LSU. But if a team calls you and proposes, to give up a second or a third or a third and another fourth or something like that, you could parlay it into a second and a third, I say go for it. We need picks. Right now, we're the way we are set up for our roster wise. We still have pretty much the same roster as we had last year. We didn't really lose any players except for Vinny Curry, and I think we got stronger at that position with Michael Bennett. So I really believe if a team calls us and the opportunity arises where we can trade back and get another pick in the second round or the third round and parlay it to a second round and a third round pick, by all means do it. This draft is from top to bottom. It's going to be a very interesting draft because you have some very good prospects in this draft, from the corners to the wide receivers to the tight ends, even linebackers. I mean, we do need. I believe with Hicks coming off this injury, and I believe Kentrich is more expendable than ever now. I believe we're going to need a linebacker, so I think that's going to be where their need is. But if they play the draft board that they did last year, they're gonna go best player available. So if that best player is not available, I totally agree with trade it down, and get in the second round so we can get a player of worth.
All right, let me go to some comments out here. Sergi says middle linebacker. I'm with that. I think we need a linebacker. Joe Guns agrees. Joe Guns says we need a linebacker. Eddie Afonso also agrees. Middle linebacker, or cornerback. I think they're going to get a cornerback, especially with a secondary player, because
secondary player.
We can use some depth at the safety position also. So, and I think that Worley he might have been that guy that they may have made into a hybrid cornerback. Play some.
He's going to that position of Graham. Corey Graham was the corner / safety that came in there when you wanted to move Michael this corner like this. Malcolm Jenkins.
That's the beauty. Malcolm Jenkins. This is real. This real talk.
When you want to move Malcolm Jenkins down to the slot receiver corner, you had the opportunity to put Corey Graham in there or Jalen Watkins. Both of those guys are gone now. So you need a guy to come in there and can play that third safety at times where you want to move Malcolm Jenkins around.
Right. So we have – all right, so what do you see as our needs priority? Although I like the way Joe Douglas has come in and changed the philosophy of drafting, because we used to pick for need, and he's changed it to best player available, best talent available. Don't necessarily get locked into a certain position, because then you pass up some talent. So I like his philosophy of picking the best player on the board, and we'll make it work.
I actually believe with that philosophy. I like I said before, best player available. It worked great last year for us. Like, we were looking at that pick when we picked Burnett. It was like, okay, that might be a good value pick down the road. And the thing about it is that, he worked out well for us. He had 5.5 sacks. He had a few fumble recoveries. He had a big fumble recovery in a Super Bowl. So, I from that, I totally believe in the philosophy of Joe Douglas and Howie Roseman when it comes to the draft board, best player available. But if I was the GM, I'm looking at an offensive guy. I'm not gonna hold you up. I know everybody's out there saying linebacker, middle linebacker, or corner. But if you look at our roster, we're heavy right now on the defensive side of the ball. We have playmakers on the first team of our offense, but when it comes to the second team, we don't really have many experienced guys. And I think we need to beef that up with somebody that can be a playmaker, not only as a receiver or running back, but also as a returner. One person I keep looking at is DJ Moore or Christian Kirk from Texas A&M. DJ Moore is from Maryland. He's also one of those guys that can be a slot receiver or outside receiver, and you could put him at a kick returner or punt returner, and he can make some plays for us. Christian Kirk, we already know his tape. You know what he can do. I think they might, if they do not trade down, I think they go offensive guy. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually got an offensive lineman. Even though, I mean, we have some guys in the fold, I wouldn't be surprised if we did take offensive lineman in the first round.
All right, don't worry, Eddie. I'm gonna give you your credit. He snuck a peek at your comic, Eddie. I know. I'm gonna put your comment right up there. Eddie's sitting there like he just stole my comic. Yeah, Eddie. I know he looked at the board. He saw you say offensive lineman. Yeah, but that's a good point. What you just said, and Eddie, that is a good point. I failed to mention offensive lineman. I think I didn't name my priorities, but I think middle line or linebacker, offensive lineman, cornerback, receiver, no special order. I mean, well, I would put linebacker and offensive line higher than anything else, but those are my priorities. I do understand if they, like we talked about, trade down in the first with the first pick. I'm just going to be well, if we trade down, they're not going to say, oh well, I guess they'll say it whenever we pick, but are they going to say picking now Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles? Because I need to hear that.
Yes, they are. They're going to say, picking at number 32, the Super Bowl champions of 2017, the Philadelphia Eagles are now on the clock.
Okay, all right. I need to hear that because I need to hear that. I definitely,
you know what?
I need to take that. I want to get that. Let me go back to Joe Gunn's. Joe Gunn's comment. Off topic. Have you guys bought any Super Bowl jerseys? Joe, I'm gonna have to be honest. I'm going to order my stuff online, but I have not put in an order yet. I keep going through it, and I have to slow down because I want to buy everything, and I can't buy everything. So I have not yet put my order in. Although I did get the Blu-ray. I did get the Blu-ray DVD. I got that. So I have to put together because I'm not only buying for myself. I have to buy for my kids and my wife also. So, I have to go through, because the way my checking account is set up is that is that I don't have any sponsorship. I'm only kidding. No. So I have to go through and be very selective. I don't know if I want a jersey yet. Well, you know what? I'm going to get a jersey because I want an authentic jersey, and it's going to be me. It's not going to be a player. I'm not getting any players. I've talked about this before. I could probably get a older player or a Hall of Fame, or just like a legendary player of the Eagles. I might do that, but I don't get any current players' jerseys anymore because they leave so fast, and your jersey is worth nothing, especially if they haven't made a mark and they don't wind up being anything. And I like if I put out that much money for an authentic, because I want an authentic. I want it to last and be relevant for longer than that player is here. So if I'm going to shell out any money for authentic jersey, it's either going to be my number and name, because I know I'm not getting traded, or it's going to be an all-time Eagle, like a Brian Dawkins or Randall Cunningham or something like that. But admittedly, I don't know about you guys. I saw Pat. Pat has a shirt. I don't know what memorabilia or merchandise have you gotten for the Super Bowl? Wait, well, hold that thought, because 3, 2, 1. It is halftime right now. Halftime. So let's stop that as we bring on our other co-host, Shell. Let me widen the shot here because now Shell's here. Now it's two guys. You get, oh my God. I want you guys, if you guys are just listening to the podcast, you can't see this. So go to the Facebook, Facebook or YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel, Facebook page, and look at this broadcast, because wow, see, now you see everybody. See, when Shell comes into the scene, he's so wow, he just takes up the whole real estate. Let me show you the before. Before, you can't see him. After, wide shot, you have to go wide shot when Shell comes in. So now we have Shell in there. Shell, I'll let you guys talk about as you guys get your shots ready for the third quarter. And everybody out there should be ready for the third quarter shots. It's about to go down. You're listening to Eagles Talk. Welcome, Shell. You guys talk to me about what memorabilia you have.
Well, I have a shirt. I'm getting some other stuff later on, and I have something very special. I can't tell you what it is right now, but for our next live show, it's something very special.
That's what's up.
It's very special.
I bought a Eagles flag for the show, and I have one of my own. I also have a Super Bowl hoodie in black and a T-shirt in black. Black is one of my favorite colors. Just like I do the Eagles Talk hoodie. It's just like this color.
All right, that's good. I'm glad you turned him up too, because that sounds better. Yeah. So these guys, see, they balling. They don't have, Shell is a big baller shot caller. Like he getting ready about to down that by himself.
No, he's not. No, he's not. If I down this by myself, we're going to get rid of everybody on the team and just have Saquon Barkley and Wentz.
All right, let me get to some comments. This is a decision. Hold on. Corey Robinson is here. Hey, Corey, what's up, man? Joe Gunn said he got the green folds. It's super clean. Oh, yeah, that's great. See, that's an all-time. You know what? I bought a Foles jersey for my daughter when he was here the first time, and then he came back and won the Super Bowl. So that's great. Although she's now grown out of it, but she got enough wear this year. She was able to wear it this year, and that's when it counted the most. But she's not going to be able to wear it next year. No. Corey Robinson, glad to see you. Corey, haven't seen you in a minute. This is a decision we got to look. Aguilar is on the last year of contract, and Mike Wallace is on a 1-year deal. So does Aggie get extended? Same with Ajayi. Are they extending if we go wide receiver or running back? That could tell our decision. Oh, Aguilar is getting extended. You better believe that. Ajayi, I'm not so sure about that because, we'll see what his production is this year because he does have that questionable knee, and we'll have to see how it holds up. I don't know how much money, they're willing to commit to him, and if they are either, willing to commit to him. So we'll see about that. Viola Green, I got a green shirt. Either that shirt stop that I got Eagles. Joe Guns, yeah, Shell is in the house. Tina Holden, Shell coming in at halftime. Pat has a new background. Yeah, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
How about that? Yeah. Super Bowl champion right there. You see that, right?
Yeah, but
all right, so here we go. Let's do these